recent interventions in Italy and Austria-Hungary have come to a close. The wars are now over. The last nationalist forces in Italy have been defeated, and the triple occupation plan has been set in place. Under the leadership of the United States, Britain, and us, the Japanese Empire, Italy will be rebuilt, as well as denationalized. The ultranationalists had been wrecking Italy's economy. Partisans had gone into the factories and started blowing them up, along with most of the rail lines. The king has been restored under a heavy constitutional monarchy, and for now it seems there'll be peace in the region. Meanwhile, the old Austro-Hungarian Empire is in chaos. Austria, still being occupied under the German plan, is now completely separated. The Hungarian-Romanian crowns have been separated under a revolution in Romania that happened thanks to our intervention in naval invasion. They revolted against the Austro-Hungarians, and now Romania is part of our Commonwealth system. In the meantime, the ships have been sent home. And it looks like maybe, just maybe, we have some time. As I fear that Germany and our interests are now starting to come to a head, with the Soviet Union effectively our rump state, and our ally in Britain and the United States very solid. France is nothing more than a secondary power, her empire now fractured between the occupation zones and whatever's left of her rump state is now starting to become less and less of a threat. The old Spanish Empire is gone, left under various occupation zones and other puppet governments of other nations. Now, it seems that the two most likely candidates for war would be either the United States and Britain, or Germany. We've had a good rapport with the Kaiser for a long time. In fact, the Kaiser once came to visit, and even spoke with the Emperor. I'm not even sure how that happened. But it seems over time, the relationship between monarchs is starting to sour. Not personally, but between the countries. German ships, well, there was an incident during the last war. Our submarines had been conducting operations in the Bismarck Archipelago as part of a training mission to learn how to utilize these newest submarine classes. However, an incident was involved and a civilian ship was struck. It happened to be German. And I had informed the local German authorities that we were conducting operations, and even had done coordination with the local German fleet there to ensure that no one would be inside the operational zone. We'd even received permission to use that area of the Bismarck Archipelago to conduct our operations and training missions as part of a good faith agreement, as we were helping to repair some German ships and merchant vessels which had been damaged in a typhoon. But it seems that over time relations are souring. Some small border skirmishes between our commonwealths have only increased. And I'm not exactly feeling that the German government is negotiating in good faith. So far, I believe the Kaiser and his cabinet are negotiating in good faith. It's the German parliament and the prime minister I'm not fond of. Neither am I quite fond of my German counterpart. Or I should say counterpart, as I'm still running as the technical operationalist of the entire Imperial Navy of Japan. At least for now. The Emperor did recover, I guess I should make note of that, but his health, I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I wish I had better news. But, in the meantime, I'm starting to question it. Well, it being how much time before I have another war. The Congo class, the intermediate battlecruisers we designed, are now entering service, beginning sea trials, and we're going to form a specialized task force for them. Along with that, the new Atago class is going to come out soon. More heavy cruisers for the fleet. And it might be time to send the Kuma class out to the Mediterranean to act as a stopgap force. We'll have to design a new class of light cruisers, but that's fine with me. We also need to do refits. And thankfully, the Technology Bureau has discovered, well, not really discovered, but has perfected a radar array, small enough to be put on ships, which is perfect. They said the first operational units and production units will be ready in about 10 months, give or take, which is fine, and I promised them that we would hold off on any strict modernizations until those units are ready for installation. Mind you, we have about 100 ships we need to install those on, but I'm sure over time we'll get around to it. With the fall of two nations effectively from the world stage and most of the minor powers already having an ally, it's becoming increasingly concerning to me that Germany might be our next foe. The issue is the scale. Both of our nations have ports across effectively every sea, which only complicates things. The German fleet is comparable to our own, maybe even better. We've heard about their combat operations and well, I can say for a fact that the high seas fleet is lethal. Suffering minimal losses and dealing maximum damage, which doesn't exactly make me feel a little bit better at night wondering if our ships can handle the same pressures. I'll do what I can, and with modernizations, hopefully, we'll be able to best them in the field of battle. The last thing I want is another disaster. A recent earthquake has shaken the country, and, well, I'm doing my best to help with recovery efforts, using the Navy to help move people around as the rail lines have mostly been cut in certain parts of the country. But, for now, I'll busy myself with recovery efforts and helping the nation rebuild after the earthquake. But I'll have to keep a closer eye on politics than I would like. We might find ourselves at war soon, and I'm not looking forward to that possibility. As I said at the beginning, I don't like war, but if it's necessary to defend my home, then I shall carry my sword.